Good morning, dear students. I am Ms. Vandana Pai. In today's lecture of the course Diploma in Human Resources, paper number 1, Management of Industrial Relations, we will be discussing collective bargaining in the Indian context, as well as we will be discussing negotiating of collective bargaining agreement. Okay, so what is collective bargaining? Yes, collective bargaining is a process, which is a method by which trade unions protect and improve the conditions of their members' working lives. It is a process of discussion and negotiating between two parties, one or both of whom is a group of persons acting in consent. The resulting bargain is an understanding as to the terms and conditions under which a continuing service is to be performed. More specifically, collective bargaining is a procedure by which employers and a group of employees agree upon the conditions of work. See, it is a group action as opposed to individual action and is initiated through the representatives of workers. It is flexible and mobile and not fixed or static. It is a two-way process and it is a continuous process. It is dynamic and not static, but it is industrial democracy at work. When it comes to collective bargaining, yes, it is not a competitive process, but it is essentially a complementary process. Collective bargaining is an art, an advanced form of human relations. Collective bargaining increases the economic strength of unions and management, and it establishes uniform conditions of employment with a view to avoiding industrial disputes and maintaining stable peace in the industry. It secures a prompt and fair redressal of grievances and avoids interruptions in work which follow strikes, go-slow tactics, and similar coercive activities. In collective bargaining, it lays down fair rates of wages and norms of working conditions. They achieve an efficient operation of the plant, promote the stability and prosperity of the industry. Also, it provides a method for regulation of the conditions of employment of those who are directly concerned about them. It provides a solution to the problem of sickness in the industry and ensure old age pension benefits and other fringe benefits. So, when we consider collective bargaining, why collective bargaining is important? Because collective bargaining resolves many of the issues. For example, previously, in the absence of such type of procedure, in absence of such type of collective bargaining, what may happen? The employees' grievances will stay with them. The employers' grievances, or their situation, their phase, their part, it will remain with them. Due to this, what will happen? Yes, both will keep their complaints with them, and aggressively it will be reflected in some work or somewhere, and due to which the relation between them may be harmed or hurted. This can happen. So, see, whenever we consider collective bargaining in India, why it is having limited success? Okay, let's see the reasons. The reasons are in your screen, on your screen actually. So, though it is argued that collective bargaining has grown in India due to statutory provisions, voluntary measures, Industrial Truce Resolution of 1962, and the amendments to the Industrial Dispute Act 1947, its success is limited. The causes for its limited success are: first, problems with the unions. Okay, means collective bargaining process mainly depends on the strength of the union, right? But still there are not many strong unions in India. Indian unions are marked with multiplicity, inter and intra union rivalry, weak financial positions, and non recognitions. Weak trade unions cannot initiate strong arguments during negotiations. There is usually no unanimous decision among workers to be presented at the negotiating table. Whenever we consider the unions, so whenever we consider trade unions, why trade unions are there? The trade unions are there so that yes, to represent the employees itself. Okay, to represent the employees itself, the trade unions are there. Is it? So, when we consider such type of trade unions, okay, see, the trade unions which are prevailing, they are not strong. They can't initiate the argument strongly. Is it? If they are not able to initiate their point of view strongly, then what will happen? Yes, their performance will be poor ones. Is it? Their performance will be poor ones. So, is it? Whenever we consider any trade union, what erects trade union? Yes, its voice and the members who are a part of such type of trade union. So, whenever we consider trade union, what trade union do? What trade union must be doing? Actually, yes, the trade union should represent the employees' part strongly. Is it? But majority of times, what happens? Okay, the trade union doesn't have voice. Is it? It can't represent. Okay, it can't represent their side strongly. Is it? Their part is not strongly. Is it? Their part is not strongly reflected. Okay, so when we consider the trade unions, if the trade unions, they are not able to argue, they are not able to reflect their part, they are not able to prove their points, they are not able to raise their issues. Is it? Then what happens? ओके बघा हे जे ट्रेड युनियन्स आहेत, काय असतं ट्रेड युनियन? ट्रेड युनियन इज अन असोसिएशन ऑफ एम्प्लॉईज. right? Trade union is an association of employees. Is it? ट्रेड युनियन काय आहे? एम्प्लॉईजचं असोसिएशन आहे. बरोबर आहे. ओके. सो वेनेवर वी कन्सिडर this association, okay, whenever we consider this association, what is important? Yes, they are the representatives of the employees. They are the representatives of the employees. Is it? Means whatsoever grievances and complaints are of the employees, it should be strongly, yes, it should be strongly represented by this employees. Okay, ह्या एम्प्लॉईजने काय करणं गरजेचं आहे? ह्या एम्प्लॉईजने ह्या ट्रेड युनियन्सने काय करणं गरजेचं आहे? जे एम्प्लॉईजचे इश्यूज आहेत, इज इट, जे एम्प्लॉईजचे ग्रीव्हन्सेस आहेत, ते योग्य प्रकारे त्यांनी मांडले पाहिजेत. पण काय होतं की समजा ट्रेड युनियनचे जे लीडर्स आहेत त्यांना व्यवस्थित आर्ग्यू करता येत नसेल, व्यवस्थित त्यांचा विषय मांडता येत नसेल, तर येस, देर विल बी पुअर शो. Is it? So whenever we consider the trade unions, is it, they are not strong, or the leaders, they are not the strong representatives. Is it? Due to this many of the time what happens? It results into poor show. Okay. So then problems from the government. Okay, the government has not been making any strong effects for the development of collective bargaining. The government has imposed many restrictions regarding strikes and lockouts, which is an obstacle for the development of collective bargaining process. Okay, see, strikes and lockouts. Okay, what are this? What do you mean by strike? Yes, strike is a phase, in which whenever the grievances of the employees, is it, they are not solved, whenever the grievances of the employees, they are not solved for, or if there are certain complaints of the employees, if these complaints, they are not sorted out by the employer, then what happens? The trade union, that is the association of employees, what they do? Yes, they do strongly initiate that we should go on strike. Strike means what? Say the employees, what they do? They stop working. Is it? Why did they stop working? Because they want to stop the production activity. Is it? If the production activity it is stopped, surely who will be facing the losses? Yes, the employer. Is it? So by hook or crook, the grievances of the employees, if they should be sorted out, then they use this tool. Is it? That is called a strike. And what is lockout? Yes, lockout means whenever the strike, is it? Even though the employer convinces the employees, still if the employee is not convinced, is it? Then what happens? Yes, the employer announces lockout. Means what? He shuts down the door of the organization the gate of the organization till when the employee approaches them, or the trade union approaches them to open the door of the organization. ओके, बघा काय आहे स्ट्राईक. स्ट्राईक म्हणजे मराठीमध्ये त्याला आपण संप असं म्हणतो. ओके, लॉकआउट. ओके, लॉकआउटमध्ये काय होतं की त्या ऑर्गनायझेशनचे जे गेट आहे किंवा ऑर्गनायझेशन जे आहे ते शटडाऊन करतात. कोण करतं तसं? एम्प्लॉयर करतात. दॅट्स इट. आता का केलं जातं हे असं? काय रिझन आहे? बघा, जेव्हा एम्प्लॉईचे जे कंप्लेंट्स आहेत ते सॉल्व्ह केले जात नाहीत तेव्हा ते काय करतात की काम थांबवतात. त्यालाच आपण काय म्हणतो? स्ट्राईक असं म्हणतो. दॅट्स इट. आणि एम्प्लॉयर जो आहे तो काय करतो? तो बघतो स्ट्राईक हे थांबवतात का बघतात. दॅट्स इट. नाही थांबवलं तर मग ते काय करतात? स्ट्राईक हे लॉकआउट करतात. म्हणजे थोडक्यात काय की बंद करतात ते ऑर्गनायझेशनचं डोर. ओके. Now, whenever we consider strikes and lockouts, okay, the government, okay, what the government does? Yes, it has imposed some of the restrictions on lockouts and strikes. Is it due to this? Yes, it is one of the hurdle actually. Is it? As the employee, they can't enter into strikes, further into lockouts. Okay, what happens then? Yes, surely, yes, collective bargaining can't be happening. Then legal problems. Now adjudication is easily accessible, as such now collective bargaining process is losing its importance. Okay, see, there are different processes to sort out the conflict between the employer and employee. Is it? There are different methods, different processes, okay, like adjudication, okay, which can surely result into sorting out of the conflicts. Is it? In such cases, is it collective bargaining? It lags behind. Okay, getting it? Then the political interferences. Interference of the political leaders in all aspects of union matters has increased over the years. Almost all unions are associating themselves with some political party or other, and there are such unions. To protect their own unions, all political parties interfere into the matters, creating inter-union rivalries. Okay, see what happens. See, the trade union, previously the trade unions, they were working hand in hand. Okay, due to this, what was happening? Okay, whenever they were working in collaboration with each other, okay, they would easily represent the employees. Is it? And whatsoever grievances, whatsoever complaints they were having, okay, it was easy for them to sort it out. Okay, it was easier for them to sort it out. Okay, but now what has happened? See, whenever we consider any trade union nowadays, okay, it is related to surely related to some of the political parties. It is associated with some of the political party. Okay, now when there is political interference, surely, is it? What happens? These political leaders, they now and then interfere in the matters of the trade unions. Okay, and if these political leaders, if they have interference, okay, with one another, then what happens? if they have interference between one another, surely due to this, what happens? There will be inter-trade union rivalry, is it? Which will surely affect. So due to political interferences, what happens? Yes, surely it is also a drawback. Then attitude of management. In India, management have negative attitude towards union. They do not appreciate their workers joining unions. As strong unions are a must for collective bargaining process, this attitude of management hampers the process. See, whenever we consider management, management means top level of management, that is your organization's top level of management. Whenever we consider the top level of management of your organization, what happens there? See, whenever we consider the top level of management, surely, is it, if somebody is leading into your organization, then it is this top management or management, they are not able to cope up with it, or it is not quite indigestible for them. Means what? See, whenever we consider any management, top level management, is it, of any organization, is it, what they think? Yes, surely they think that. Yes, what do they think? Yes, they think that the unions, is it, they are not good. What they think? They think that the unions, they are not good. Why they think this way? Yes, what is the reason behind it? The reason behind this itself is that they think that these unions, they do encourage the employees to do something which is unfair from the organization's viewpoint. बघा, काय वाटतं ह्या मॅनेजमेंटला वाटतं की हे जे युनियन्स आहेत ते खूप खराब आहेत, खूप वाईट आहेत. आणि ते काय करतायत? ते आपल्या एम्प्लॉईजला इज इट काहीतरी वाईट शिकवतात. आणि ते आपल्या एम्प्लॉईजला मोटिवेट करतात की मॅनेजमेंटच्या अगेन्स्ट बिहेव करायला, मॅनेजमेंटच्या अगेन्स्ट काहीतरी स्टेप्स उचलण्यासाठी, मॅनेजमेंटच्या अगेन्स्ट काही स्टेप्स, अनफेअर स्टेप्स उचलण्यासाठीच ते आपल्याला एनकरेज करतात. सो ते काय करतात? दे डिस्करेज द एम्प्लॉईज टू जॉईन द युनियन. ते काय करतात बघा? येस, ते काय करतात? हे जे एम्प्लॉईज आहेत त्यांना कुठल्याही प्रकारे सपोर्ट करत नाहीत, किंवा त्यांना म्हणतात तुम्ही युनियन जॉईन करू नका, कुठला तरी फोर्स यूज करतात. इज इट? का करतात असं? येस, कारण की त्यांचे जे एम्प्लॉईज आहेत ते एम्प्लॉईज इज इट ॲग्रेसिव्ह व्हायला नको आहेत. इज इट? कारण की द ॲग्रेसिव्ह एम्प्लॉईज, दे विल शुअरली harm or hurt the soundness of the organization. This thing they keep in mind. So these are the 5 causes for the limited success of collective bargaining in India. First one is problems with the unions, then the problems from the government, then the legal problems, then the political interferences, then the attitude of management. Okay. Then there are certain recommendations of the NCL for successful functioning of collective bargaining. Okay, what are these? So, when we consider the National Commission of Labour in 1969 made the following recommendations after considering the problem. Okay, what were those? First one is government intervention in industrial relations, particularly in the settlement of industrial disputes, should be reduced gradually to the minimum possible extent. Compulsory adjudication of disputes should be used only as a last resort. Okay, then trade unions should be strengthened both organizationally and financially by amending the Trade Union Act of 1926 to make registration of union compulsory, enhance the union membership fee, reduce the presence of outsiders in the union executive and among the office bearers, and increase the minimum number of members in respect of the union applying for registration. Legal provision may be made either by the separate legislation or by amending an existing enactment for compulsory recognition of trade unions and certification of union as bargaining agents. Okay, prohibition and penalization of unfair labor practices, bargaining in good faith by both employers and union, conferring legal validity and legitimacy on collective agreements. Okay, so whenever we consider successful functioning of collective bargaining, see NCL, that is National Commission of Labour in 1969. Okay, they have given some of the considerations related to the problems which the collective bargaining was facing. Okay, what are those? See, the government intervention, this is one of the problem, right? Okay, it should be reduced. Okay, it should be reduced in such a way that it will be used as a last resort. Okay, means if it is not solved, if the conflicts they are not solved, then only they will be utilized. Okay, then the trade union should be strengthened both organizationally and financially. The trade union should be supported both financially as well as organizationally. Means organization also should support trade union, even they should be given finance adequate to work. Okay, then legal provisions may be made either by separate legislation or by amending an existing enactment for. Okay, means the trade union whichever is formed, the trade union whichever is formed, it should be recognized in the sense proper certification of the unions as bargaining agents should be made. Then prohibition and penalization of unfair labor practices, means what? See, if there is any injustice put forth on the labor, surely it should be kept in the mind, and those who are evading such type of thing, or those who are evading the labor practices to unfair labor practices, these people, they should be prohibited and penalized. Okay, then bargaining in good faith by both employer and unions. Okay, see, both, that is an employer as well as union, they should share their part of for example, the past events, or anything which is needed to be disclosed to one another. Okay, they should be disclosed with one another. Okay, then conferring legal validity and legitimacy on collective agreements, means what? Okay, the लीगल थिंग्स शुड ऑलवेज बी केप्ट इन टू माइंड. बघा NCL म्हणजे नॅशनल कमिशन ऑफ लेबर जे आहे, ओके बघा नॅशनल कमिशन ऑफ लेबर जे आहे त्यांनी 1969मध्ये काही रिकमेंडेशन दिले. ओके, हे जे प्रॉब्लेम्स आहेत, प्रॉब्लेम्स विथ युनियन, प्रॉब्लेम फ्रॉम गव्हर्नमेंट, लीगल प्रॉब्लेम्स, पॉलिटिकल इंटरफिरन्सेस अँड ॲटिट्यूड ऑफ मॅनेजमेंट. ओके, ज्याच्यामुळे कलेक्टिव्ह बार्गेनिंग इंडियामध्ये म्हणजे आपल्या कंट्रीमध्ये सक्सेसफुल होत नाही आहे. इज इट? ह्याच्या अगेन्स्ट काही त्यांनी रिकमेंडेशन्स दिलेत. कोणकोणते आहेत बघा. पहिल्यांदा सांगितलं आहे की गव्हर्नमेंट इंटरव्हेन्शन जे आहे ते थोडंसं लिमिटेड केलं पाहिजे. इज इट? कधी इंटरफिअर केलं पाहिजे गव्हर्नमेंटने? जेव्हा एखादा इश्यू असेल तो अगदीच रिझॉल्व्ह होत नसेल. इज इट? किंवा लास्ट रिसॉर्ट म्हणजे फायनल ऑप्शन म्हणून तुम्ही गव्हर्नमेंटला अप्रोच होऊ शकता. शक्यतो तुमच्या लेवलवरती इज इट ते प्रॉब्लेम जे असेल, इज इट जो इश्यू असेल एम्प्लॉईमध्ये तो सॉर्ट करावा. किंवा मग त्या थर्ड ॲक्टर कोण आहे? गव्हर्नमेंटला तुम्ही अप्रोच व्हायचे लास्ट रिसॉर्ट, एकदम शेवटी जेव्हा सगळेच पर्याय समाप्त होतात, बंद होतात, फिनिश होतात सगळ्या गोष्टी, इज इट तेव्हा तुम्ही त्या गव्हर्नमेंटला अप्रोच व्हायचे. ओके, अजून काय आहे तर ट्रेड युनियन जे आहे त्याला ऑर्गनायझेशनने पण सपोर्ट केला पाहिजे आणि प्लस ते फायनान्शियली सुद्धा सपोर्ट झाला पाहिजे. कारण की ह्या दोन्ही गोष्टींशिवाय ट्रेड युनियनचं ऑपरेशन जे आहे ते अगदी अशक्यच आहे. ओके, देन लीगल प्रोव्हिजन्स काही लक्षात घ्यायचे आहेत. ओके, ज्याच्यामध्ये अनफेअर लेबर प्रॅक्टिसेस असतील तर ते एकतर प्रोहिबिटेड आहे आणि तसं कोणी करत असेल तर स्ट्रिक्टली पेनलाइज होईल तो व्यक्ती. इज इट? त्याच्यानंतर ट्रेड युनियन जे आहेत त्यांना स्ट्रिक्टली सर्टिफिकेशन घेतलं पाहिजे. इज इट? सो दॅट त्यांचं लिगल एक्झिस्टन्स प्रूव्ह होईल. इज इट? दोन्ही एम्प्लॉयर आणि युनियन जे आहेत त्यांनी सर्व गोष्टी एकमेकांना शेअर करायच्या आहेत. कुठल्याही गोष्टी इज इट हिडन ठेवायच्या नाही आहेत. कारण की हिडन कुठली इव्हेंट राहिली तर काय होईल की येस इट विल बॅडली अफेक्ट द फ्युचर ऑफ वन अनदर. Okay, and all the legal matters they should be kept into mind. Okay, getting it? Next part is negotiating of collective bargaining agreement. Okay, see, negotiation is a tool which is used in collective bargaining. What is it? Collective bargaining is a process of negotiation during meetings between reps and their employer, often to improve pay and condition. The aim of collective bargaining is to reach an agreement between employers and workers. Okay, see what happens whenever we consider the collective bargaining process. What is done into this? Negotiation means yes, both employer as well as employee, they know the organization is very important for them. Is it? Yes, both these people they know that the organization is very important for them. So both these people, is it employer and employee, they do have interest into the organization, right? They do have their part of interest into the organization. म्हणजे बघा, जेव्हा तुम्ही एम्प्लॉयर आणि एम्प्लॉईचा विचार करता तेव्हा इज इट दोघं सुद्धा ऑर्गनायझेशनशी तेवढेच रिलेटेड आहेत. ओके, आणि समजा ऑर्गनायझेशन बंद पडली, कंपनी बंद पडली तर काय होऊ शकतं? येस, कंपनी बंद पडली तर इज इट एम्प्लॉयरला सुद्धा काही करता येणार नाही, एम्प्लॉईला सुद्धा काही करता येणार नाही. कारण की बघा, एम्प्लॉई जो आहे इज इट त्याचे इंडिव्हिज्युअल गोल कंप्लीट करण्यासाठीच त्यांनी कंपनी जॉईन केलेली असते. कारण की कुठेतरी कंपनी किंवा हे जे ऑर्गनायझेशन आहे त्यांनी समजा त्याला सॅलरी किंवा एक्सपेक्टेड रेम्युनरेशन समजा दिलं नाही तर त्याचं लिव्हलायहूड जे आहे ते शक्यच होणार नाही. इज इट. आणि दुसरा पार्ट असा आहे की जो एम्प्लॉयर आहे म्हणजे त्या ऑर्गनायझेशनचा जो मालक आहे, ओके, जो एम्प्लॉयर आहे त्याचं काय तर येस ऑर्गनायझेशन जर चालली नाही म्हणजे हे जे एम्प्लॉई आहेत त्यांनी जर काम केलं नाही तर प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस कंप्लीट होणार नाही. प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस कंप्लीट झाली नाही तर काय होईल की येस ऑर्गनायझेशनचे जे प्रोडक्शनचं टार्गेट आहे ते कंप्लीट होणार नाही. ऑर्गनायझेशनच्या प्रोडक्शनचं टार्गेट जर इज इट कंप्लीट झालं नाही तर तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करू शकत नाही, त्याचे सेल्स व्यवस्थित होणार नाही, त्याला प्रॉफिट व्यवस्थित कमवता येणार नाही. ह्या सर्व गोष्टी घडतील. इज इट. त्याच्यामुळे जेव्हा आपण ह्या दोन्ही व्यक्तींचा विचार करतो इज इट दोन्ही व्यक्तींचा विचार करतो तेव्हा इज इट त्यांच्यासाठी ऑर्गनायझेशन खूपच इम्पॉर्टंट आहे. कारण की त्यांचे दोघांचेही इंडिव्हिज्युअल गोल्स त्याच्याशी रिलेटेड आहेत. ओके. So when we consider negotiation, okay, negotiation means agreeing upon one thing. Okay, what is negotiation? Negotiation means agreeing upon one thing, means both employer as well as employee, they do agree on one issue. Is it? Means they think that the problems which are there between these two parties, they should be resolved, they should be solved. Is it? If they think in this way, then surely what happens? Yes, they come to one solution itself. Is it? And they think that the conflict which is there between these two persons, between them, it should be resolved. Is it? So what they do, they collectively agree upon the same issue and work hand in hand then. Is it? Such type of thing is called as negotiation. See, whenever we do negotiation, 3 steps are considered. Okay, 3 steps are considered. First one is identification of problem, then preparation for negotiation, and then negotiation of the agreement. So one by one we will go through all these steps. Yes, first one is identification of the problem, means what the issue is. Okay, what the issue is between the employer and employee. Okay, एम्प्लॉयर आणि एम्प्लॉईमध्ये नेमका काय इश्यू आहे हे पहिल्यांदा आयडेंटिफाय करायचं आहे. इज इट. एम्प्लॉयर आणि एम्प्लॉईमध्ये नेमकं काय इश्यू आहे, कोणता इश्यू आहे हे आयडेंटिफाय करायचं आहे. इज इट. आफ्टर दॅट after that the second step, identify negotiations, okay, or prepare for the negotiations. Okay, now see, समजा फॉर एक्झाम्पल रेम्युनरेशन ह्या इश्यूवरती दोघंजणं भांडत आहेत, दोघंजणं कॉन्फ्लिक्ट करतात. कोण? एम्प्लॉयर आणि एम्प्लॉई. इज इट. आता जेव्हा आपण ह्यांचा विचार करतो, इज इट, ह्या दोघांचाही विचार करतो, इज इट, ते काय म्हणतात की येस आपण निगोसिएशन करूयात. इज इट. मग निगोशिएशन कुठल्या प्रकारचं करायचं आहे, इज इट, कधी करायचं आहे, कोणत्या टाईमला करायचं आहे. ओके, आर्बिट्रेटर नेमायचा आहे का. ओके, when we think on all this issue, it comes under preparation for negotiation. It comes under preparation for negotiations. Okay, getting it. Then the third step is, okay, actual negotiations. Okay, see, whatsoever you have planned for, is it, what you do is, yes, both the parties or the representatives, they come before one another, they come in front of each other, is it, and they start discussing. Is it? They start discussing, okay, and they agree upon a single solution. Is it? दोघं जण सुद्धा, is it, असं सोल्युशन बघतात असं सोल्युशन पास करतात ज्याच्यामध्ये दोघेही जण बेनिफिट होतील, दोघेही जणांना मान्य असेल अशा काहीतरी गोष्टीमध्ये ते सोल्युशन फाइंड आउट करतात. ओके, सो व्हॉट इज निगोसिएशन? Negotiation means both the parties towards the conflict, okay, they agree upon a single solution. Is it? They finalize a single solution which is called as negotiation. Okay, so why collective bargaining is done? The aim of collective bargaining is to reach an agreement between employers and employee. Okay, both should work hand in hand for this. Such type of collective bargaining is done. So with this I conclude today's lecture. Thank you.